Hi guys, thanks for stopping by Easy Cooking today. Today we're going to make an interesting little dish. It's actually a very simple, very healthy dish. I learned how to make it in college from my roommate, a fella named Suk Yi, and he taught me how to make kimchi, and it's one of my favorite foods. So today I thought I would teach you how to make kimchi. To be more exact, I'm going to show you how to make Bae Chu Kimchi. Bae Chu is the mother lode of kimchi, the basis from which all other cabbage kimchis are made out of. In Korea, each family has their own variation of Bae Chu, and today I'm going to show you the version of Bae Chu that my friend Suki
This is
taught
the
me
basis
in
for
college.
Tbsp. And what we're going to do with this cabbage is we're going to cut it the long way. Take your knife and we're going to cut it right in half the long way. Doesn't have to be exactly, okay? Then we're going to take our small knife and we are going to V-cut out the stem in the center. Okay? Here's the stem. We don't want that. Okay? We don't want that. We're going to remove the stem, this middle core, from both halves. Okay. It's hard, it's fibrous, we don't want it. Now, we're going to take each half of this Napa and we're going to cut it into quarters. You can have loose leaves, and that's okay. We're going to have 4 quarters here. Okay? Don't worry about the mess. Okay? Okay. Diagonal cuts. Very simple cuts. All right. Into the pot. Into the pot. You just want to use enough water to cover the cabbage. Okay? You just want to use enough water to cover the cabbage. And then we're going to add some salt to it. 1.5 cups of salt. We're not going to use all of the salt. You don't need to. There's about 1 gallon of water in here, a little more, a little less. We'll use about 1 cup. We use about 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup of salt. And we press it down. And put the cover over it. We're going to leave the cover on this 1 hour, and then we'll be back. Okay, so the cabbage has been soaking for about 2 hours in the pot with about 4.5 ounces of salt. And now it's been poured out into a colander. And within that colander, we're going to rinse it off. We're going to rinse off the excess salt. After the first hour, if you notice, I added some green onion to wilt as well. Okay. The excess water and the excess salt has been shaken out, and we're going to get ready for the next step, which is going to be to add a little more salt and to let it stand for a little while longer and get soft. So stay tuned. Be right back. Okay, so the cabbage has been drained and rinsed off of the excess salt and water, and it's going to go back into the pot. It's wilted, it's soft enough. What we're going to do is we're going to make little layers, and then we're going to put a little salt. And that's only because room is at a premium here. I don't have gigantic pots to do this with. Make a layer, little salt. Okay. This day before, about after the first hour that I let this soak, I added some green onion to the mix to let it soften. Little bit of salt. Another layer. Little bit of salt. Put the cover on it, and this is going to sit just like this for about 4 hours. And that salt is going to draw out the excess moisture from the cabbage and soften it up even further. And then it's going to be ready for the next step, which is to become coated in the Korean kimchi glue that I'm going to show you how to make. Okay, it's been 4 hours, and once again, I am rinsing the excess salt off the cabbage. Okay, right now we're going to make the glue that will allow the rest of the pepper and other spices to stick to the kimchi. We're heating up some water right now. And to that water, we're going to add some rice flour. Now, if you don't have rice flour, that's okay, because you can use all-purpose flour if you want to. And what we're going to do is we're going to stir this in. Here we go. See? It almost looks like oatmeal as oatmeal is thickening. All right. Here we go. Now reduce the heat to medium and stir. There. See? All right. See how it sticks to the spoon? That's about the thickness we want. So now we turn off the heat, and even though we've turned off the heat, this glue is still going to thicken. And while this is cooling off, we're going to make the sauce. Okay, while the rice glue is cooling, we're going to make a nice coarsely ground sauce out of garlic, ginger, and Asian radish that's going to be mixed with the rice glue. Okay, and with that, we're going to mix some other ingredients as well. The chili pepper, the sugar, fish sauce, rice vinegar. But we need to make this sauce. We'll get the handy dandy food processor going. I find these little 3-cup ones really nice. Asian radish. Daikon. Alright. I'm using about half of a daikon. They come in all sizes, so it's hard to say what size that you're going to have handy. Okay. This is a 2-inch chunk of ginger, maybe actually it's about a 3-inch chunk of ginger that I chopped up. Okay. I chopped it coarse. Okay. I chopped it coarse. I happen to like ginger. And here's garlic. I recommend you start with about 4 cloves of garlic. I'm using twice that amount of garlic because I really love the taste of garlic in my kimchi, but it's all preference. All right, so into the food processor it goes, and there we are. There we are. And this we're going to put in a bowl, and we're going to wait to mix it up with the rice glue and other stuff to coat our kimchi. It's going to be good. I'll see you soon. Okay, here's the garlic, the ginger, and the daikon radish. And on top of that, I'm going to add the rice glue. Now, I'm going to mix that glue with the daikon, the garlic, and the ginger. Has a consistency similar to applesauce. All right. It has a consistency similar to applesauce. Now, to that, we're going to add rice vinegar. Fish sauce. The rice vinegar and the fish sauce and the sugar that I just put in will allow the fermentation to take place. And one last ingredient for a nutty flavor, sesame oil. Okay. And we're going to mix all this together. All right, now that that's done, the key ingredient, coarsely ground Korean chili pepper. Okay, pour that in, stir it up. This is kimchi paste. All right. There it is. Korean kimchi chili paste. Hang on tight because we're going to put this kimchi together. See you in a minute. Okay, here we go. It's all done. The cabbage has been soaking, and it's soaked, and it's been draining in here, so it's pretty dry. Now what we're going to do, because as I said before, I don't have gigantic bowls to do things with, to make large amounts, we're going to do one head at a time, is we're going to take a little bit of this cabbage and put it in the bowl. Okay. And we're going to take a little bit of this Korean red chili paste, and we're going to throw it in. Okay. And we're going to mix it by hand. You want to make sure that everything gets coated. There's some more. And a little more. Okay. You just toss it around, separate it, get all that cabbage coated. There you go. Wonderful. Okay. A little more cabbage. A little more paste. You don't have to make kimchi with this paste. You could use this paste on anything. Steaks, noodles, chicken, chops. Doesn't necessarily have to be for kimchi. A little more paste, because I have some left. Here we go. Reach to the bottom. Oops. Some flopped out. That's okay, because I'll pick it up. I'm not letting any of this go to waste. All right. There we go. All right. Every piece of cabbage, every piece of onion is coated with our paste. And we are going to let this sit for another 20 to 30 minutes and just take it all in. All right. Every last bit of that cabbage and those onions is covered in the paste. And I'm going to let it sit here for just about another 20 minutes and relax. Let it take it all in. And then we're going to put it in a jar and let it sit for about 2 or 3 days. I'll see you in a little bit. Well, here it is, the finished product. It's taken about 4 hours. This is a 2-quart jar, just loaded with the kimchi from one large head of Napa cabbage. Now, when you load this into the jar, some people tell you to make the lid very tight, but don't. Okay? You want to make the lid snug and then just let it up a little bit because some gases are going to escape. So you want it to be loose enough to where you can get it to move a little bit. Just about like so. And you're going to put this in a cool corner for about 2 or 3 days to let it ferment. You might see some bubbles. If you do, fine. If you don't, that's all right. And then you taste it. After that 2 or 3 days, you put it in the refrigerator. This should be good for a month or more, 2 months, but to tell you the truth, it's not going to last. Here it is. Easy kimchi. Bae Chu Kim Chi. I hope you enjoy it. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.